Well, we're back for another Staff Bikes because Aaron, our resident mountain biker, has been spending a lot of money on a very fancy new bike. Can you tell us what it is, Aaron?
Jamie, this is my Cannondale Supersix Evo for Lab71.
Lab71.
Lab71, hen's teeth, bit of a unicorn. Yes, I know I am the editor of Off-Road CC, but I do have a soft spot for road cycling.
So Lab71, that sits at the very top of the range, doesn't it? That's brand new for the Super 6, and it's a different carbon layup, is that right?
Yes, it is. So this is a sort of nanotechnology sort of carbon, which is slightly lighter than the high mod, around 40 grams, which is not much, but it's that nameplate which is quite special, and these have been brought in limited numbers to the UK. Globally, they're also going to be limited, and that's just to ensure that it keeps its exclusivity.
It does look pretty special, and this paint job, it's got a lovely metallic colour in it.
It's not to everyone's taste, no, but there are two reasons why I went for this one. Most of my bikes do have sort of Lumo colour schemes, which I like.
Yeah, you do have some bright ones.
I do have some bright ones, and I do like it. I like the sort of the subtle grey on this with the luminous green, which kind of brings in that identity which I have through my bikes. And then also this sort of stripe pattern I thought would relay my South African heritage.
Like a zebra.
Exactly, like a zebra. So I thought that brings in a lot of my own sort of personal identity into the package, which is pretty cool.
As well. And that green really is bright.
Yeah, it's one of those Lumo colors. Cannondale says that it might fade in the sun if it's overexposed or whatever, but yeah, I haven't had that issue with any of my bikes before.
And in the dark, you probably don't need light.
I don't know about that, Jamie. I don't know. Another two nice touches which are very much about my identity are these two pieces here. So the System R bar from Cannondale was done as a collaboration with Cannondale MomoDesign during lockdown. Why? It's only found on the High Mod 1 and the Lab71.
This is very nice.
It is. It's a beautiful,
carbon. What do you call that kind of carbon?
I would say it's a mottled look carbon, which is pretty cool. Why I like it and opted to keep it, because you can spec the bike with different bars, is that I'm a car enthusiast, I'm a former motoring journalist. MomoDesign are known for their steering wheels, their alloy wheels, and their motoring and motorsport heritage.
This is basically a steering wheel.
It's a steering wheel. It's a Momo steering wheel. It feels great in hand. It's a 40 centimeters, so slightly narrower than what I usually use, which is a 42.
Looks pretty aero.
I like that a lot. Coming to the saddle, this is a Selle Italia SLR Techno.
There's not a lot to that.
There's not a lot to this. Surprisingly though, it is pretty comfortable. This one is not an off-the-shelf saddle. You do need to order this specifically from Selle Italia. What's special about this one, there's also a bit of a motorsport sort of theme going on. It was engineered by Dallara, which is a supercar manufacturer in Italy. They do cars for IndyCar, and they're carbon fiber specialists. So we've got these two sort of motoring themes here, front, back, on the touch points. And then obviously the Lumo color scheme and the zebra pattern, it really hits home for me, and it's a nice personal touch, I feel. You know you've got an awesome bike when you've got it parked somewhere in your house, maybe your bike room or your lounge. You walk past it and then you look back at it. That's, you know you've got a cracker, and I can't stop looking at this thing. So it's pretty special to me. There's a lot of other special bits.
Yeah, so come on then, Sram Red throughout. Why Sram, first of all?
Well, it started out with Dura-Ace Di2 9200, worked flawlessly, built it up myself, had no issues with it. I'm a massive fan of Shimano in particular, but I didn't feel the aesthetics of the Groupset had the visual drama to complement the package.
Yeah.
That's why I turned to SRAM, outfitted with the Sram Red AXS Groupset. What makes it even more special are the rainbow accents of the chain, flat top chain rainbow. The set is rainbow. Push the envelope a little further by outfitting the entire bikes with a Betterbolts titanium rainbow bolt package.
There is quite a lot of rainbow.
There's a lot of rainbow,
You can see them down here in the brake calipers.
Yeah, so all the bolts.
These are quite nice. They're very low profile bottle cage bolts.
My wife calls it a peacock. She says when I'm on the bike, I peacock around on it.
Are you sure that's what she's saying?
I am sure. I think it's a bit of a unicorn. I thought I'd go for the Zipp 353 NSW wheels.
These are very light, aren't they?
It's a very light wheel. It's 1,300 grams, maybe slightly under.
And hookless.
Hookless, with the new Vittoria Corsa Pro tyres.
What size are they?
They are 28C. So Vittoria says 28C up is compatible with hookless rims. That's why I opted with this.
Yeah.
It kind of has stretched the profile a little bit more, the width.
It's quite that's quite a nice transition between tyre and wheel there.
I like this combination very much. The new Vittoria Corsa Pro, there's a lot of sort of feedback that comes through the tyres. The grip is great and the rolling resistance is top notch. So
as you'll know from my start bikes, I am a big fan of Vittoria tyres.
Another thing, going back to the crankset, or the chain set, if you want to call it that, opted for the 4835, 1033 at the back.
Yeah.
It's a really nice combination, I feel. Don't lose much in the way of top speed. And the 48 ring with 33 at the back, it kind of limits the amount of time I need to spend in the small ring. Only super steep stuff do I really have to go down. Otherwise, this works really nicely. Obviously, the built-in quark tire meter, super accurate, really cool. Because it's a new bike, there's not a lot of aftermarket integration available. And I'm talking about the computer mount and something for the rear light. So I spoke to the chaps at Raceware. They helped me out with this cool 3D printed mount up front for sort of Wahoo Element Rome.
That does look light.
It's about 15 grams lighter than the stock aluminium mount provided by Cannondale.
And it's aero.
It's aero too. And then this little nifty Raceware rear mount, pretty cool. This one here,
I'm not sure how aero this one is.
Works quite nicely with your Bontrager flare or iron light. Slips in. Very much about being visible on the road. Yes, I know it's got a Luma color scheme, but you can't put a price on safety. I recommend everyone has a light or radar or something at the back just to make other road users aware of their presence.
Yeah. So some other little details finally. We've got 140mm discs front and rear.
140 front rear. I'm not a heavy chap.
You will struggle for a wheel change in your next pro race though.
Don't have to worry about that, Jamie. But I kind of like the look of the 140. There's no issues with stopping.
Yeah. Bottle cage. That is proprietary to Cannondale,
it's a proprietary Cannondale bottle cage. It comes with a sort of aero bottle, which is kind of squared off. Fits nicely with the down tube. What's nice about this cage is that it can also accommodate normal round bottles, so it doubles up for use. Yes,
that is more useful. Bottom bracket. Obviously, the Supersix Evo 4 has gone to a threaded bottom bracket. Are you a fan?
I've never had issues with press fit, to be honest. I've never had the creaking. I do know that is a concern, but it's the threaded bottom bracket standard is just so much easier to take off when you're at home. You don't have to worry about chiseling something out and then gluing it back in. So in that regard, I'm happy. And
then pedals, finally, look. See, I've worn out all of my look pedals, and that's why I've gone to Shimano. But
you seem that you're heavy on your equipment, Jamie.
Must be.
I've never ever done anything to wear out a look pedal, all the bearings, etc. These pedals in particular are the Lucchio Blade carbon ceramic titanium axle.
The expensive ones.
The expensive ones, but also the light ones. So these ones come in under 100 grams a pedal. Put them on just to sort of bring the weight down a little bit more. What's kind of odd when I describe the feel of this bike to friends and other people I ride with is that it's super responsive, but at the same time manages to dial in this like incredible amount of compliance. It's a bit of witchcraft. I have no idea how Cannondale managed to do that. Anyway, if you like the bike, then please give this video a like and let us know in the comments below what you think Aaron should change or what he should have gone for instead of this bike. Remember to subscribe to the channel and we'll see you next time.